Cheers, Dom. Right, everybody, hello and welcome to another video. So this is the second part in the Plastic Crack podcast Adepticon painting relay. Basically, at the PCP, which I take part in on Monday nights with Steve from On Point HQ, Dom from Boots on the Table, and Ken from Miniature Wargaming Warriors, we were contacted by Don Ayres from Adepticon, which is the show that takes place over in the States, and basically asked if we'd be interested in creating a force that could be put together for a charity auction. And we said, yep, and we had a little bit of think about how to do it, and we decided on a painting relay. Now, you can see the first video in this series over on Dom's channel, which I'll leave a link to down below, and hopefully a little thing up here in the corner. And basically what we decided is Dom was going to deal with all of the base coating. I'm going to deal with the highlighting and details and the shields, and then I'm going to ship this off to Steve and he's going to deal with the basing. So I'm not going to go over things that Dom has done already. I'm going to get all of this out the box and see what I'm dealing with. So much bubble wrap. Oh, that's the big man. How do you get in? Okay, so what we have here is a complete starter 4-point warband for Saga, for Crescent and Cross. This is a Crusader warband. We've got the Warlord, who's free. We have 1 point of mounted half guard, a 2nd point of mounted half guard, 1 point of warriors, so spear armed melee troops, and 1 point of warriors armed with bows. So if you've watched Dom's video, you see that he has done all the base coating, so I'm not going to go over everything he's done, but you can see that basically we had a bit of a chat in our group, and we decided to paint them sort of liveried up in the PCP colours, which are mainly black, blues and purples. But there is some precedent for this in some Crusader liveries. They did use purples and blues. So I think what I'm going to do to begin with is get some shading done on these. I'm going to try and work the purples up so they're quite bright, and Dom's put some excellent base coats down for me to be able to do that. So I think I'm going to work on the purples first. I'll get some shade on those, and normally I would work 1 unit at a time. However, to be honest, there's only 8, 16, 30, 24, I can't do maths, 25 models, so I think I'm going to work on them all in one go. So I'm going to get on, and I'm just going to start adding some purple shading on, then I'm going to shade the blue, and then I'll start working up towards some highlights on those colours. Right, so I just realised as I started painting that Dom has actually already done the shading, so I clearly didn't pay enough attention in his video, or listen really to what he said, so sorry about that, mate. What I have done is I've gone through each of the models, and I've actually given all of the purple areas a shade with Game Ink Violet, and that's because I want the purple to be nice and rich. So here is the big man, the Warlord. So once that's dry, I'm going to start working things up, make them a bit lighter, get on with the blues, get on the clothes, and then I'll probably update basically once I've done all the fabrics, and we're ready to, I don't know, maybe look at the faces or the weapons. So I'll check back in a little while. Right, so here we are, and I have now finished going through all of the highlights on the different clothing, some of the belts. I've even done some of the armor and some of the flesh. I felt like I was getting a bit carried away, then I remembered I probably need to update, so I'll just put them down for a minute. Basically, yeah, it's just been quite a lot of fun. So here is the Warlord so far. So as you can see, I've worked up the purple that Dom originally put on here, and I've basically given that a couple of layers of highlights. Also just picking out some of the details, like the I'm not quite sure what you call this, is it a coif? Basically it's a little chainmail mask that's part of his armor that goes over his mouth. and just worked up the blues. I've never really painted anything these colours before. As I say, it's the PCP logo, so I thought I'd just make them nice and bright. As you know, that's one of the good things about medieval armies. Decided just to, you know, we wanted to show Ken in here somewhere, so I've given him a bit more of a red head on there, and I've already worked this one's skin up, so he's coming along quite nicely. The spearman, as you can see here, very similar, just working up on the highlights, on the purples and on the blacks. I've used what's that GW colour? Is it Skavenblight Dinge? I think it is. Yeah, this colour. This colour is brilliant if you want to just do some edge highlights on black. So that's what I recommend. And that's what I've done in here, just trying to pick out some different colours. So I've done all of those. There we go. And as you can probably see, you can't see it too well on these guys because of where the shields are. So I'll show you. Here we are. Here's one of the bowmen. I decided to add, as this is a Crusader force, a little livery cross on there as well. So all of the clothing is basically done. All of the archers have had their bows washed, and just to give it that sort of more worn look. All the belts have been highlighted, and the swords, and parts of the quivers as well, just to get that going. The ones that I haven't had the most amount of work done on them would be the mounted half guard, the knights. All I've done is work up those blues and purples. I've still, as they're mostly armor, they're probably going to come in the next stage. So that's what I'm doing. So the next stage of things is to work on the armor and the skins, and once I've got those done, I'll come back at you, and it should then just be a case of getting the horses done and getting them in the post. So I'm going to get back to it. Right, okay, so I've stopped and I've finished quite a bit. So the archers are basically done. I finished these off with a good old dry brush of deck tan, but I haven't bothered doing any weathering on the clothes, and that's because I didn't know what basing Stee is going to be going for. So I didn't want to, for example, put like a dark brown weathering on them and then find out he's like putting sand, like a desert sand on the bases. So I'll leave that over to him, so he doesn't just get away with doing the bases. He's going to have to do a bit of weathering as well. So the archers are done. I've finished the skin on pretty much, well, everybody, and all the clothing, everything is done. All I'm left to do now is the shields and the horses. I've done quite a lot of the detail work on people, like buckles, bits on swords. I'm pleased with how these have come out. I'm really pleased, actually. Not sure I want to send them on. There we go. So shields and horses, and then that's it. And then I'll come back to you. I'll give them a spray varnish, and then we'll round up, and I'll be chucking them in the box to Stee. Right, and we're done. So that's my part of the painting relay now completed. So all of the models have had the highlights done, the shields done. I had to stop myself going on to sort of more weathering and basing, because I'm finding it really hard to not go on and do the basing, because to me a model just isn't finished until I've done the base, and it's really irritating me that I can't just do that now. So that's not the challenge though, or the way that we're doing this. So these are all about to get packed off and sent to Stee, and then when Stee bases them, he can then do any final highlights or details or whatever. There's no point in me doing any kind of touching up of anything until Stee's done that, because he, you know, there's bits of paint that may come off and he'll have to touch them up, so there's no point. Anyway, I have varnished all of the infantry and then I ran out. So the infantry are done, and I know I've just shown these off in the previous sort of segment, so I'm sure Steve's going to do a little bit more of these. The shields are finished, so there we go. Very simple designs, just a variation on, again, the PCP colours. This is probably my favourite one, the round one. There we go. So yeah, if you're going to Adepticon, then you'll get a chance to see these, and they go into the charity auction. Whoops. There we go. And this is our full 4-point Saga Crusader Warband. Hopefully it will do well on the table. There we go. I've also added some socks to some of the horses. and done the detail on the reins, and anybody who's got sort of a brooch or a clasp that needs doing, I've added all that on. Again, that guy there with the round shield's got one there, so you can see. So there we go. Right, I need to get these packed up and off to Steve today. And then I think he's got about a week to get them based and then in the post for state. So give me 2 seconds and I'm going to get these things packaged up. Right, it's cold, it's raining, I've got the package. So anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Bit of a different video. I'm going to get this to the post office as quick as possible. I'm now questioning why I didn't actually just bring a bag. Anyway, over to you, Steve. Oh my god, it's cold. And I will see you guys in the next one.